15 Things You Must Master to Take Relentless Action Without Waiting for Perfect Conditions. 1. Stop waiting, start moving. The power of immediate action. Welcome to modern Life Stoic, where ancient wisdom meets modern grind. Let's get one thing straight. Life doesn't wait for perfection. Too many people are stuck in their heads waiting to feel ready, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for all the pieces to align. But here's the brutal truth. Waiting kills dreams. The Stoics didn't teach us to wait, they taught us to act. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could be good today. Instead you choose tomorrow." That hits, doesn't it? Because deep down, we know we're not short on time, we're short on action and perfection. It's a seductive lie. It tells you, one more tweak, one more plan, one more delay. But guess what? You don't grow by thinking. You grow by doing. Perfection is the enemy of progress. You don't need a flawless strategy, you need a fierce start. Even if it's ugly, even if it's small, even if you're scared. The Stoics taught us to focus only on what we control, and what you control is your action right now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. So stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I succeed? Because motion creates clarity. Action breeds confidence. And courage comes from doing the thing, especially when it's uncomfortable. Want to write a book? Open a blank page. Want to start a business? Make the first call. Want to change your life? Take the next step. This is your reminder. Done is better than perfect. That video, post it. That idea, test it. That dream, chase it. Do it now, not when you're perfect, when you're ready. And ready begins the moment you start. 2. Perfection is a prison. Escape and execute. Let's talk about the silent killer of dreams. Perfectionism. It wears a disguise. It whispers, "You're just being careful." It says, "Wait a little longer. It's not quite good enough yet." But the truth? Perfectionism isn't precision, it's paralysis. And the Stoics knew this long ago. Seneca said, "While we waste our time hesitating and postponing, life is slipping away." Think about that. How many moments have you lost trying to make something flawless, instead of just making it real? We hold ourselves hostage to an image, the perfect launch, the perfect body, the perfect words. But the Stoic path teaches us to aim for excellence, not illusion. Here's the truth. Perfection is an illusion. Excellence is a choice. And action is your weapon to break free. You don't learn from imagining, you learn from executing. You grow from the ugly drafts, the shaky starts, the public stumbles, because every masterpiece began with something unpolished. Look around. Every successful creator, every leader, every visionary, they began before they were ready. They shipped imperfectly. They learned through motion. And because they acted, they improved. That's the Stoic way. Control what you can, your effort, your courage, your next move. Not the outcome, not the feedback, not the applause. So here's your mission. Let go of needing to be perfect. Replace it with a hunger to do, to finish, to publish, to hit send. To be seen not as flawless, but as real. Remember, the world doesn't need your perfect version. It needs your present one. 3. The first step is everything. How momentum beats motivation. Here's today's truth bomb. You don't need more motivation. You need more momentum. You see, motivation is a fleeting feeling. It comes and goes with your mood, your weather, your breakfast. But momentum, that's a force. It's motion meeting courage. It's the Stoic engine of progress. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Translation. Stop thinking. Start moving. You want to start that business? Launch the first page. You want to get fit? Lace up and walk 10 minutes. You want to change your life. Take one powerful step today. That's momentum. It doesn't ask you to be perfect. It only asks you to begin. Because the first step unlocks something deeper than motivation. It builds belief. And belief compounds with every action you take. Here's what the Stoics knew. The mind is a battlefield. And motion is your sword. You can't fight fear with thinking. You fight fear by walking through it, one imperfect step at a time. When you start, you silence doubt. When you start, you shut down procrastination. When you start, you send a message to your soul, I am not a slave to hesitation. Most people wait for clarity, but clarity comes from action. It's not found in books, it's built in battle. So stop chasing the perfect moment, create the moment, move, even if you stumble, especially when you stumble, you're still further than standing still. 4. Action is the antidote. Kill overthinking with motion. Let's talk about a silent killer of progress. Overthinking. You know that cycle. You think and overthink until momentum dies and fear wins. But here's the Stoic truth. Thinking alone won't save you. Action will. Epictetus once said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Simple, direct, and deadly accurate. You don't need more time to analyze. You need to act your way into clarity. Because here's the trap. Overthinking feels productive. But it's a disguise for fear. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of not being enough. And the cure. Do the next thing. Stop trying to figure out steps 10, 11, and 12. Just crush step 1. Because clarity doesn't come before action. It comes because of it. Every Stoic knew this. Control what you can, your effort, your discipline, your next move. Everything else is noise. So, when your mind starts spinning, bring it back. To the moment. To the task. To the doing. Ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do right now that moves me forward? Then do it. It might be small. It might feel insignificant, but it's a weapon against hesitation. Even a tiny step forward breaks the chains of analysis paralysis. Start the workout, write the first sentence, send the message. Make the call, do something, anything, because motion builds momentum, and momentum destroys overthinking. 5. Feel the fear, and do it anyway. Let's be honest, fear never fully goes away. But here's the Stoic secret. You don't have to eliminate fear, you just have to stop obeying it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke. Boom! That fear, that resistance, that tension before taking action. It's not the world stopping you, it's your perception. And perception can be changed in an instant. Do you feel fear? Good. That means you're on the edge of growth. But don't sit in that fear. Stand up and move anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the face of it. And that's exactly what Stoicism trains you to do. You want to build confidence. Do the thing that scares you. Again. And again. And again. Until your fear bows to your discipline. Because the longer you wait, the stronger fear gets. But every time you act despite it, it weakens. So flip the script. When fear shows up, say, this is the path. This is my sign. This is my opportunity to grow stronger. Do you think the greats weren't afraid? The warriors, the builders, the writers, the leaders all felt the same fear, but they moved through it. That's what made them great, and it will make you unstoppable. 6. Progress over pride. Let go of looking perfect. Pride tells you wait until it looks good. Ego says don't fail in public, but growth whispers just start, learn, evolve. Epictetus put it perfectly. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. That's real. If you can't tolerate looking awkward, sounding raw, or failing in front of others, you'll never taste greatness. Let's be clear, you don't need to impress. You need to improve. You don't need applause. You need action. Because action brings real transformation, not just the illusion of it. Too many people are more worried about how they're seen than what they're building. And that's a trap, a silent prison, a slow death of potential. Here's what Stoicism teaches. Pride is a weakness in disguise. It tells you to protect your image, even if it costs you your purpose. But guess what? Progress is messy. Success is built on looking stupid at the start. And every master was once a visible beginner. So drop the act. Let people see your rough drafts. Let them witness your early steps. Let them laugh, then let them watch you rise, because one day they'll stop laughing and start asking how you did it. 7 small steps, big shifts. The Stoic power of microactions. Let's kill the myth. You don't need massive moves to change your life. You need small, consistent, intentional action every single day. The Stoics knew this. They didn't chase big, dramatic results. They trained daily, lived deliberately, and moved with quiet purpose. Seneca said it clearly. Well-being is attained by little, and nevertheless is no little thing itself. That means this: tiny habits, tiny shifts, tiny steps. When stacked together, they transform everything. But here's the problem. We overestimate what we can do in a day, and we underestimate what we can do in a year of focused microactions. We think, if I can't do it all right now, it's not worth doing. Wrong. Progress is a series of small wins that no one sees until one day they can't ignore you. You want to master something. Start with 5 minutes, 5 pages, 5 push-ups, 5 rejections. Do the small thing again, and again, and again, because repetition builds rhythm, and rhythm becomes identity. You're no longer someone who wants to change. You become someone who moves, someone who executes, someone who finishes. The Stoic path isn't glamorous. It's consistent, quiet, grounded, and unstoppable. 8. Discipline over drama. Show up, no matter what. Let's be real. Most people wait for the right mood before they act. They wait to feel inspired, feel ready, feel in control. But here's the Stoic truth. Your feelings don't run the show, your principles do. Marcus Aurelius said, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I am rising to do the work of a human being. Boom! That's not motivation. That's duty. That's discipline. That's warrior energy. The world worships drama, flashy success, emotional outbursts, big promises. But results worship the quiet ones, the steady ones, the ones who show up, rain or shine. No excuses. No applause. Discipline is freedom. Freedom from mood swings. Freedom from procrastination. Freedom from the slavery of needing to feel right before you act. You don't need perfect energy. You need personal standards. You don't need hype. You need habits. Discipline says, I don't care how I feel. I do what I said I would do. That's real strength. That's Stoic fire. And here's the best part. The more you show up, the stronger you become. You build a reputation with yourself. You become someone you can trust. That's where real confidence is born, not from praise, not from motivation, but from repeated effort, especially when no one's watching. 9. Don't wait to feel ready. Move before the mind catches up. Let's break a dangerous belief today. I'll start when I feel ready. No, that's not power. That's delay. That's fear in disguise. And the Stoics, they had zero patience for that mindset. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Here's what that means in real life. You won't always feel confident. You won't always feel prepared. But the most powerful people don't wait to feel ready. They act, and in the doing, they become ready. Read that again. Every time you delay because it's not time yet, you're training your mind to hesitate instead of dominate. But when you move, even if your hands are shaking, you train yourself to become bold. You weren't born ready to lead. You weren't born ready to win. You weren't born ready to break limits. You become ready by doing it scared, doing it uncertain, doing it now. Readiness is not a feeling. It's a decision backed by discipline. Stop asking, "Am I ready?" Start asking, "What's the next move?" Then take it without permission, without certainty, and without waiting for perfection, because your mind loves comfort, but your future demands courage. 10. Motion over emotion. Let action lead the way. Here's a truth many avoid. You don't need to feel it. You need to do it. We live in a world obsessed with feelings. I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like creating today. I'm not in the mood. But listen, if your life is driven by emotion, your future is held hostage by your moods. The Stoics saw this weakness from a mile away. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we are given a short life, but we make it short by wasting it." How do we waste it? By waiting for the perfect emotional state to act. Here's the truth. Moods are temporary. But motion? Motion changes everything. Action resets your brain. Action rewires your thinking. You don't feel motivated. Move anyway. You feel lazy. Move anyway. You're scared, stuck, or overwhelmed. Move anyway. Why? Because when you act, you shift your energy. When you act, your emotions begin to follow. You reclaim your power when you lead with motion, not emotion. Every Stoic knew that true power lies in what you do, not what you feel. They trained themselves to act from values, not feelings, discipline, duty, purpose. That's the Stoic formula. 11. The time is now. Stop romanticizing later. Let's kill the biggest lie holding you back. I'll do it later. Later I felt safe. Later feels smart. Later feels responsible. But the Stoics knew what later really is: an excuse in disguise. Marcus Aurelius didn't sugarcoat it. He wrote, "You could be good today instead. You choose tomorrow." Ouch! You don't need more plans. You don't need more time. You need urgency. You need movement. You need to crush the myth of later. Because here's the truth. Later is how average people die, with their potential still locked inside them. It's how greatness becomes regret. It's how purpose gets buried beneath distractions. Stoic way: do it now, while it's hard, while you're scared, while it's messy. Because later is never guaranteed. Time is not a promise. It's a gift. And every moment you spend waiting is a moment you'll never get back. Want to write that book? Start now. One page. One paragraph. Want to change your habits? Start now. One decision. One needle. Want to launch the business? Build the brand? Fix your mind now. Not next week. Not after the next excuse. Now. Don't romanticize the future. Respect the present. Own the moment. Dominate the day. Because when you act now, you build momentum. When you act now, you train your mind to trust you. When you act now, you break the cycle of delay and enter the flow of destiny. 12. Don't chase perfect plans. Build with imperfect action. Let's talk about a silent dream killer, waiting for the perfect plan. You want the perfect roadmap. You want guarantees. You want to avoid all mistakes before you move. But guess what? Perfection doesn't exist, and even if it did, it's not required. Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult, powerful, Stop stalling because you don't have all the answers, because clarity doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. Every great creator, builder, leader you admire, they didn't start with perfect plans. They started messy. They figured it out as they moved forward. That's the Stoic way. You don't need the full map, just the next step. You don't need to see the whole staircase. Just climb the first stair. Stop wasting time crafting 10-year plans you never act on. Instead, build something real now, even if it's flawed, even if it's incomplete, even if you're scared. Because imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. You learn more by doing badly than by thinking brilliantly. You grow by moving, adjusting, adapting, not by sitting still and hoping. Want to win in life? Fail fast, learn fast, adapt faster. 13. The cost of waiting. What inaction is stealing from you? Let's get brutally honest. Every time you wait, you pay. But most people don't see it. They think waiting costs nothing. They say, I'll start next week. I'm just not ready. But behind every delay is a price. The Stoics knew this deeply. Marcus Aurelius said, you act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. Translation: you panic over small risks, but you treat your time like it's unlimited. It's not. Every day you wait is a day you could have built a new skill, strengthened your body, grown your business, transformed your life, inspired someone else, but instead, you paused. And that pause, it has a cost. Here's what inaction steals from you. Gives time you'll never get back, gives confidence that's only built through doing, gives momentum that multiplies success, gives the version of you that's on the other side of execution. You think you're avoiding failure by waiting. No, you're choosing regret in slow motion. Let this sink in. Inaction is not neutral. It's corrosive. Every day you delay, fear grows stronger. Self-doubt gets louder. Discipline fades. Your dream slips further away. The Stoic way: take action now, not because it's comfortable, but because the cost of not acting is too high. 14. You are what you repeatedly do. Build identity through action. Here's something that will shift your life. You don't become disciplined by thinking about discipline. You become disciplined by doing disciplined things daily. Epictetus said, first tell yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Read that again. The Stoics understood a truth that most people miss. Action shapes identity. Not thoughts. Not wishes. Not potential. What you do, consistently, is who you are. Want to be a writer? Write. Want to be a leader? Lead. Want to be confident? Take brave action. Don't wait until you feel like that person. Act like them now. Because every action you take casts a vote for the kind of person you're becoming. Not in theory, in real, grounded, Stoic living. And here's the key: it doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be flashy. It just has to be consistent. Your small daily choices, they form your habits. Your habits shape your mindset. And your mindset directs your destiny. You're not stuck. You're not behind. You just need to start aligning your actions with your vision now. The Stoic life is built moment by moment, step by step, act by act. No shortcuts, no ego, just deliberate motion. 15. Done is better than perfect. Progress over pride. Where we finish what we start, and perfection never outranks progress. Let's set the record straight. Perfection is a myth. Progress is the goal. Too many people are stuck in a loop of almost launched, almost published, almost finished. Why? Because they're waiting for perfection. But the Stoics knew better. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. That doesn't mean flawless. That means real, honest, actionable. Because real progress, it's messy. It's raw. It's full of mistakes, edits, stumbles, and do-overs. But it moves. It grows. It transforms. Perfection, on the other hand, is pride wearing a mask. It tells you, don't release it until it's perfect. Don't show up until you're the best. But the Stoic truth: you become better by finishing, not by over-polishing. Nobody builds a masterpiece on the first try. Nobody becomes great by hiding their work. You want to grow, ship it. Share it. Close the loop. Because every finished project, no matter how flawed, builds confidence. And every unfinished one feeds your self-doubt. You want momentum? Stack completions, not intentions. You're tuned into Modern Life Stoic, where we don't chase flawlessness. We chase forward motion. Here's your mission today. Take something you've been polishing too long and release it. Publish the post, drop the video, send the pitch, release the work. It won't be perfect. It doesn't have to be. It just has to be real, complete, alive. Because the world doesn't need your perfect idea. It needs your finished effort. Subscribe, show up raw, and remember, done creates impact. Perfect creates paralysis.